Paul Heyman drops massive bombshell on Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes calls out the Vision. The WWE finally officially aigns a beloved superstar. Why is Randy Orton taking a break from WWE? TKO's handling of WWE since taking over slammed. The WWE is not allowing AJ Styles to wrestle a beloved star. Ex-WWE star out of rehab. CM Punk called out for never being a locker room leader in AEW. R-Truth spoils his spot in John Cena's retirement tournament. Roman Reigns. CM Punk and The Rock set to film Zootopia 2. Let's dive right in. Cody Rhodes calls out the Vision. Cody Rhodes is set to compete in the men's War Games match this year at Survivor Series. He showed up this week on Monday Night Raw to help CM Punk and Jey Uso from a beatdown from the Vision. This storyline is expected to continue tonight on SmackDown as Survivor Series is just 2 weeks away. The upcoming episode of the Blue Brands show will emanate from the MVP Arena in Albany, New York, and Rhodes will be in the house tonight. From delivering a vehement promo to being part of a tumultuous brawl in the main event, the American Nightmare could be involved in several intriguing things. Let's take a look at 4 things Cody Rhodes could do on SmackDown this week. Number 1. Call out the Vision during his promo. Cody Rhodes could kick off Friday Night SmackDown with an electrifying segment tonight. He could address the events that unfolded last week on Raw and explain why he joined CM Punk's team for the men's War Games match. The American Nightmare could lambaste Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed for their recent actions on the Red brand. Following a passionate promo on SmackDown, Rhodes could call out the Vision in the ring to confront him. The American Nightmare could state that he intends to take down Paul Heyman's boys and that fans don't have to wait until War Games. With a sheer conviction in his voice, Cody could scream for Breaker and Reed to show up and confront him. Number 2. Engage in a verbal altercation with Paul Heyman. Cody Rhodes could be in the middle of his segment on SmackDown when Paul Heyman might interrupt him. The Wiseman's voice could echo in the arena, and he could come out from backstage to confront the undisputed WWE champion. Heyman could question Rhodes to validate his decision to join the babyface team for War Games. The 60-year-old could try to threaten the American Nightmare, telling him about the repercussions of being against the Vision. However, the latter could also give a mouth-shutting response to the Hall of Famer. Following that, Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes could be involved in a heated altercation, throwing barbs against each other on SmackDown number 3, involved in a chaotic 3-on-3 brawl. Cody Rhodes may get involved in a massive brawl tonight on SmackDown. With Survivor Series just weeks away, there is a good possibility that the Vision will make its presence felt on the Blue Brand tonight. When Rhodes could be alone in the middle of the ring, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul could show up and surround him. Soon after, Jey Uso and CM Punk could come rushing to the ring to join the American Nightmare to equalize the numbers game. All 6 superstars could be involved in a chaotic brawl that could spill all over the ringside. The 2 parties could pummel each other, prompting the referees and officials to intervene and separate them. Number 4. Cody Rhodes may get attacked by Drew McIntyre. The upcoming episode of SmackDown could turn out to be a nightmare for Cody Rhodes. The 40-year-old could be involved in an altercation with the Vision when Drew McIntyre may show up out of nowhere and ambush him. Rhodes might fall prey to a devastating claymore from McIntyre that may knock him out. The Scottish Warrior was suspended by Nick Aldis last week, but the embers of resentment could be burning within him. As a result, he could invade the show tonight only to unleash mayhem on the American Nightmare. Hence, there is a high chance that Cody might fall prey to Drew's wrath tonight on SmackDown. The WWE finally, officially, aigns a beloved superstar. WWE has finally signed a beloved star to a contract with the company. This has been a long time coming, and a report has confirmed it. Joe Hendry has now signed a deal with WWE. A report on Fightful Select confirmed that Hendry is done with TNA in an official capacity. He has not been seen for some weeks, but has been a part of NXT shows for some time. The report said that it was because he was officially a WWE superstar now. The report added that he is not listed internally to appear in TNA shows, but he could still drop by backstage because he's in the area. He was not in Bound for Glory either, which left many people surprised. The report said that WWE sources confirmed that Hendry is now officially a full-time wrestler with the company, and that he had wanted this for some time. Shawn Michaels was also vocal about liking Hendry and wanted the company to buy out his TNA deal. It also said that he had used his representation to reach an amicable agreement to remain with the company going forward, even with more months left in the original TNA contract. While Joe Hendry was signed with TNA for the longest time, when he started appearing for NXT, he immediately became a part of everyday storytelling. The star is now officially a part of the company, and in his short time there, even before signing, he's already had a match against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So far, the star has wrestled The Miz, participated in the Royal Rumble, and faced Charlie Dempsey, Trick Williams, Ethan Page, and several other big names. It remains to be seen how Triple H uses him in the future on the main roster. Why is Randy Orton taking a break from WWE? Randy Orton has been away from WWE for the past few weeks. He is neither part of any current storyline, nor is he showing up on the weekly episodes of SmackDown. For a superstar of his magnitude, missing the shows has posed a great deal of concern. A lot of fans have been wondering what exactly happened with the Viper, and the reason behind his break. The reason behind his absence from WWE is a family holiday. Orton took a well-deserved break to celebrate his 10th wedding anniversary with his wife on the serene shores of the eastern coast. They jetted off to the stunning tropical paradise of Belize, where turquoise waters, lush forests, and picturesque beaches provided the perfect backdrop for their romantic getaway. The Apex Predator shared a heartfelt Instagram post on November 13th, 2025, with a group photo from the trip. Kim Orton also posted some vacation snaps a day earlier, showing her family soaking up the Belize vibes. Hence, Randy Orton took a break from WWE to celebrate a decade of love with his wife on the Caribbean coast in Central America. It will be interesting to see when the Viper returns to SmackDown. Now that he has wrapped up his vacation, Randy Orton has been away from television for the past several weeks. Now that his break is over and Survivor Series is around the corner, fans have been wondering when the Viper could make his return to SmackDown. However, WWE may not pull the trigger on that immediately. The company has been building the feuds and storylines for the upcoming premium live event. It does not look like WWE has plans to feature Orton at Survivor Series this year. Hence, there is a high chance that the Apex Predator could return after the annual spectacle. He could come back on SmackDown after Survivor Series to get involved in fresh feuds and storylines. The post-PLE period is where the creative team sows the seeds of some new storylines on both rosters, making it the perfect time for a stunning return. Randy Orton's booking has been quite questionable of late, and his upcoming directions seem unclear. It will be interesting to see what the future holds for the Viper upon his homecoming. TKO's handling of WWE since taking over slammed. Vince McMahon stepped away from WWE in the middle of 2022 owing to other controversies, changing the landscape of the promotion forever. For decades, McMahon led the promotion with a firm hand, as it had been owned by the McMahon family for generations. However, since he stepped away, Triple H was put in charge of WWE's creative process, being named the chief content officer. Further, the majority of the company was then sold to Endeavor Group, and they merged to form TKO Group Holdings. Wrestling veteran Vince Russo was talking on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge on the final episode of Writing with Russo. He claimed that WWE has become a full-blown corporation since TKO took control, making it a far cry from what it was under Vince McMahon. Yeah, I definitely think so, bro, because a couple of people have even come forward saying, since TKO, their royalty checks are not the same. And I know Kevin said that, but a few other people have said that as well. So yeah, bro, a lot has changed since TKO. And bro, that's, again, I'm going to say it again, people were loyal to Vince McMahon. TKO, bro, with the raising of ticket prices and non-competes like this, they are dealing with a corporate conglomerate. There's no fuzzy feeling mom and pop, and we're doing this for Vince. This is a corporation, a huge corporation. And at the end of the day, bro, all they care about is the bottom line, Russo said. Since TKO took control of WWE, their decisions have been more in line with making profits. One of the biggest recent TKO decisions that did not sit well with the fans was having John Cena's retirement match in Washington, D.C., as it was the highest bidder, rather than his hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. The WWE is not allowing AJ Styles to wrestle a beloved star. AJ Styles has made an unfortunate revelation, saying it's unlikely WWE would ever let him wrestle a beloved star in a match that many fans have been clamoring to see. The phenomenal one disclosed that despite his interest, he didn't believe the global juggernaut would give him the go-ahead to wrestle TNA's Mike Santana. Styles is in the final stages of his WWE career, having made it clear he intends to hang up his wrestling boots for good sometime next year. The one half of the World Tag Team Champion, alongside Dragon Lee, is among the most revered performers in the history of the business, and many stars have stepped up to express their desire to face him before he walks away into the sunset. One of those names is Mike Santana, who has been very vocal about wanting to face AJ Styles now that TNA and WWE have struck a working relationship. Styles, however, is reserved about the chances of the match materializing. Speaking on the No Contest Wrestling podcast, AJ Styles confessed that the global juggernaut might not allow him to wrestle Santana. I get it, man. I really do. I was hoping that this would happen, I really was, but then I realized it probably never could as far as WWE letting me do that. I'll tell you why. As soon as I open those gates for the main roster talent, now everyone is going to want to do it. I don't know if it's going to happen. If I'm being honest, I'd like to. Don't get me wrong. What a moment it was when I was able to go back, but I just don't see that match. I don't see any match happening as of right now. Elsewhere in the interview, AJ Styles said he wasn't particularly intrigued with the idea of having a retirement tour like the one John Cena is currently on. He explained that he was happy to end his career on a relatively low-key note. I could ride off into the sunset and be okay with it. I don't have to have an AJ Styles retirement tour. I don't have to have that. I don't need that. I just want to be able to do it my own way. And literally, you don't have to know that I even left. I could just be gone, he said. Despite his reluctance, there's no doubt that when the time comes, WWE would surely give the phenomenal one a fitting farewell worthy of his stature. Ex-WWE star out of rehab. Former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Justin Credible is officially turning the page on a new chapter in his life. On November 13th, 2025, the man behind the character, Peter Polaco, shared a proud milestone with fans. He posted a photo on X showing a certificate of commencement awarded to him by the Discovery Institute for Addictive Disorders in New Jersey. The simple caption read 11/12/25 with a praying hands emoji. The certificate, dated November 12th, 2025, confirms Polaco successfully completed the program. It included an inspirational message from the center. Now you can begin to practice the principles you learned, to begin anew, to live life, clean and sober, one day at a time. It was signed by Victor Ruiz, M.A., LCADC, a residential counselor at the Discovery Institute, which provides detox and residential treatment services. But that's not the only major development in Polaco's life. On a recent episode of Francine's podcast, it was revealed that the former WWE star has locked in his first job outside of the wrestling industry. Starting next month, he'll begin working at a Chili's restaurant, stepping into a new lifestyle away from the wrestling ring. Polaco's history with addiction has been no secret. He's opened up about his struggles before and has entered multiple rehabilitation programs over the years, including WWE-sponsored treatment. This latest certificate marks a clear victory in a lifelong battle and a commitment to staying clean moving forward. Before addiction took center stage, Polaco started in the early 1990s with the WWF as Aldo Montoya, but found his voice in ECW as just incredible. Alongside Lance Storm, he formed the Impact Players, winning ECW Tag Team Gold twice before becoming ECW World Heavyweight Champion after defeating Tommy Dreamer. He also held the WWE Hardcore title 8 times and later teamed with X-Pac and Albert as part of the X Factor faction. Now, he's focused on real life. This new phase isn't about belts or blood, it's about stability. And for Polaco, that might be the most hardcore move of all. CM Punk called out for never being a locker room leader in AEW. CM Punk's time in AEW was more than controversial, especially near the end. During that time with AEW, he made it clear that he wasn't there to make friends, because he was about titles and racking up big moments in his own career. Now, Bobby Fish is speaking openly about his interactions with the Second City Saint. During a new interview with TMZ's Inside the Ring, Bobby Fish opened up about his past issues with CM Punk. He addressed their working relationship, Punk's backstage behavior in AEW, and how they're dynamic compared to other wrestlers. AEW made a huge deal about Punk's debut with the company, but that didn't make him mesh well with things behind the scenes. Bobby Fish said that CM Punk didn't feel like part of the group. He never appeared to me to be part of the locker room. I mean, one of the things that he had his own locker room. So I think when you do that, Sting had his own locker room too, so let me not be cherry picking here, but Sting is Sting, period. Bobby Fish went on to contrast this with his experiences working alongside others. After all, Fish has been in locker rooms with some of the biggest names in the business throughout his career. I sat next to Samoa Joe in the boys' locker room. I called my match with Bryan Danielson across from him in the same room. That's just how it should be. When asked about CM Punk's leadership role backstage, Bobby Fish didn't have a glowing review. In fact, he said Punk's backstage leadership simply didn't exist. I don't know that there was any real locker room leader. I mean, it was a unique locker room. Sting is Sting, obviously, but he's quiet and reserved. If anything, Joe was the locker room leader to me. If Joe had something to say, I was fucking listening. During his time with AEW, CM Punk was involved in a couple backstage incidents. Bobby Fish went on to discuss a backstage issue involving Dax Harwood, where Punk tried to step in. Dax and I think he and I, there's a professional understanding between us. We were able to shake hands and hug it out after. I think that's the difference between maybe Phil and Dax and me. Punk used that moment to try and take a leadership role, and the best way I could, I just let him know, bro, take that, I'm somewhere else, because it's not I'm here for me. Bobby Fish pushed back when asked if it could have been handled better. As professional wrestlers, they have to know the business because they're not in competition with anyone in the ring, considering the predetermined aspect. We're performers. This is a predetermined sport. You're not beating anybody. You're not champion of dick. Before I'm a pro wrestler, before I'm the guy signing checks to win or lose, I'm somebody's father, I was somebody's husband. That all comes first. If we've got differences, we talk face to face. If it has to go to the parking lot, it can. But come on, I'm somebody's father. I don't need that. But what I definitely don't need is you going to the principal's office. Phil, you tattled on me, I get to the back, and you're already in Tony Khan's ear. Then you both, not just him, you both walk away from me and each other when I approach. There's nothing man about that. CM Punk was released from AEW, but it didn't take him long to make his return to WWE, as unbelievable as that might be. Since then, he has seen a fair amount of success, despite some time off due to injury. Now, Punk is WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and it appears that he is also a leader backstage. Not only has CM Punk helped out some NXT talents, although he is top champion of the Raw brand now, Punk didn't get there overnight. His journey to the gold was a long one, and it also included Seth Rollins suddenly dropping the title due to injury. AEW continued their beef with CM Punk, even after he was no longer with the company. Tony Khan went on to release the full security camera footage of Punk's backstage all-in brawl with Jack Perry, even though they worked overtime to remove it afterward. Only time will tell if CM Punk has an answer to Bobby Fish's comments, but we will keep our ears open. What's your take on Bobby Fish saying that CM Punk wasn't a locker room leader in AEW? Do you think that AEW started to go downhill after Punk left? R-Truth spoils his spot in John Cena's retirement tournament. John Cena's The Last Time Is Now tournament is already full of surprises, but R-Truth might have just dropped a big one early. During a recent interview with TMPT, R-Truth may have accidentally revealed that he's officially in the tournament before quickly trying to walk it back. When asked directly if he was entering the bracket, he said yes, then immediately shifted gears. Yes, I am, dog. I hope I get picked, and I think it's awesome, man. I think it's awesome for the person that's going to be facing him, and I think it's awesome for him to even give that type of passing the torch off. Whether it was a slip or a swerve, the moment didn't go unnoticed by fans, especially as speculation ramps up over the still unannounced participants. Truth went on to explain that this is a huge moment for both Cena and whoever gets to face him. He framed it as a legacy-defining opportunity, something like a torch-passing moment that will only happen once. When asked if he could actually win the tournament, the host brought up names like Rusev, Sheamus, and The Miz. Truth didn't flinch. He reminded everyone that he's tangled with all of them before, and even stared down Brock Lesnar. "I done fought all those guys you just named. I know every last one of them, and I'm not scared of none of them, dog." I stepped up to Brock Lesnar. "You think I'm worried about Miz, who's already..." Miz is a backstab. He turned his back on everybody. "I'm not worried about Rusev. Rusev is tough now, don't get me wrong. But dog, when you see my brother, you see me. You know what I'm saying? I am Ron Cena, dog. There is no other." The Ron Cena gimmick has been one of Truth's most entertaining runs in years, and this latest promo just adds fuel to the fire that he's being lined up for a major moment in Cena's farewell arc. Whether he meant to let it slip or not, the cat may already be out of the bag. For now, WWE says his name is still in the tumbler, but with this kind of momentum, it might not stay there for long. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and The Rock set to film Zootopia 2. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and The Rock are set to unite as the cast members for the upcoming Zootopia 2 movie produced by Disney. Ahead of the release, the World Heavyweight Champion took to his Instagram story to share his reaction. Punk beat Jey Uso in the main event of the November edition of Saturday Night's Main Event to win the World Heavyweight Championship. It marked his 7th world title in the Stamford-based promotion. On the other hand, Roman Reigns has been away from WWE since his loss to Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel in October. Amidst his WWE hiatus, Reigns is set to team up with Punk to voice for the Zebra Buddy Cops in the upcoming Zootopia 2 movie. In the same movie, The Rock is voicing a character named Zeke. The movie is set for its worldwide release later this month. CM Punk took to his Instagram story to react to the news. He shared a collage featuring a picture of him with Reigns from last year's Men's War Games match, along with an image of the characters both of them are voicing. Fans are excited to see Punk and Reigns team up outside WWE as cast members in the movie. Despite their differences, the Best in the World and the Tribal Chief actually teamed up during last year's Men's War Games match. Reigns and the OG Bloodline were set to face Solo Sikoa's version of the group inside War Games last year but lacked a partner. Paul Heyman came to the group's save when he brought in Punk as the 5th member for Reigns' team at Survivor Series. The group emerged victorious as they beat Sikoa's group. However, the alliance between Reigns and Punk didn't last long as they ended up facing each other along with Seth Rollins in a triple threat match at WrestleMania this year. It will be interesting to see if Roman Reigns will return to join Punk's team this year for War Games against The Vision. Paul Heyman drops massive bombshell on Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman just dropped a bombshell about Roman Reigns. This comes days ahead of his rumored return. Between 2020 and 2024, Roman Reigns dominated the WWE ring along with the Bloodline. One of the people responsible for his dominance was Paul Heyman. As Reigns evolved from the big dog to the tribal chief, fans witnessed this evolution unfold on TV every week. This gave way to some incredible segments. During this time, the OTC and Heyman also formed a close bond with each other. However, those days are far behind them now, as Heyman betrayed Reigns to form the Vision. The same group that the OTC is feuding with Roman is currently out of action and is reported to be back on Raw next week. During a recent appearance on What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon, Paul Heyman revealed that there were several things Roman Reigns entrusted him with that nobody knows about the OTC. The WWE Hall of Famer also made it clear that he will keep their conversations private, even on his deathbed. And there were things that he entrusted me with that I don't think any other person on the face of the planet knows about him, whether it was a promo in front of an audience or whether it was one of the things backstage on the couch, and he's searching for that layer that he wants to present. And I'll just pull him aside and say this, and he'll just look at me, got it, and that's it. It's tapped into it, and you have to trust me to keep that between us and never repeat it under any circumstances, even on my deathbed, like that goes to the grave with me. Paul Heyman may be widely regarded as one of the greatest managers in the history of professional wrestling. Throughout his career, he managed many wrestlers, but the two that stand out are Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns due to their dominance under Heyman's guidance. Heyman had a hand to play in these stars' successful careers. During the same interview, Heyman pointed out that Brock Lesnar's character is intentionally very one-dimensional, whereas Reigns' character developed layers over time. Therefore, fans got to witness the character develop before their eyes. See Brock Lesnar. Really, we never explored the depth of the character. Brock's character is intentionally very one-dimensional, but the Tribal Chief wasn't. What made the Tribal Chief so different is that at very strategic times, we presented layers, and every time you thought you understood the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, we showed you something different. And that's what made that character so breathtaking to watch develop in front of your very eyes. It's like watching a child star that grows up in front of you. And as much of a grown man as Joe Inoue Roman Reigns obviously was, he grew up as the Tribal Chief in front of the audience. Roman Reigns definitely has to give credit to Paul Heyman for bringing out the best in his character.